real quick guys, couple tips. Get a small 4-inch extension, a 12-inch extension, T30 bit, some sort of ratcheting mechanism, star 10 mil, triple square. You're gonna remove this bracket, sits down in there. It's gonna be a bolt here and a 10 mil there, which is right here. I just put them together. These are gonna be from the water pump, so they're also T30s. And then this is actually going to be from your throttle body. By the way, the failure point's right here. If you can see, this piece breaks off and it leaks right here. What else? This belt you could just push off with a flathead screwdriver. There you go. Just push it off, pry it off like that with a flathead. There's gonna be 5 bolts total. The hardest ones to get to are the ones that's gonna sit like this. The ones right here, 1 and 2. And then this right here, you just wiggle it off by pulling this way and out towards the back after the belt removed. And that little cover. This pipe I'm going to replace, that goes in here and it goes this way and that way. The pipe is, I have it tucked away down there, right here if you can see. It's going to be held in together with a couple bolts up here. See, it connects right there. Better view. It connects right there and it's held together by 2 bolts. One there and one on the pump itself. Careful when you're putting the new bolt back in here that you're using the short one, not these long ones. You're gonna use these right here. It took about probably 30 minutes to get all this off. The coolant reservoir you can just lay to the side. This pipe you can lay off to the side. Throttle body right here, you're gonna want to clean that. And you're also gonna want to replace the gasket, this. Once again, we're replacing that whole pipe. It goes, where does it go? Right here. So I'll take a couple pictures of the part numbers for you. It goes down into the water pump and then over up into there. So pretty easy actually, pretty straightforward, a lot easier than on the BMWs where you have to remove sometimes the intake manifold. Yeah, here's the new parts by the way. Switching over to this made in Germany. It's aluminum one. It already comes with a thermostat, as you can see, built in, so that's nice. Comes with all the gaskets, comes with a new sensor. It's made by Green Automotive. It comes with all new bolts, new belt, really nice. So this we're actually not going to need. This is a thermostat housing with a thermostat. By the way, where is this made? Made in China. So Febi's starting to make stuff in China. The other nice thing that I like are these aluminum fittings that go in between the water pump and the oil cooler. So it sits like right here, right there. You're gonna want to use a lot of O-ring lubricant when you put these in, so that these rubber O-rings don't slide off. This we're not gonna need. This we're not gonna need. Not gonna need. And here's a thermostat that you can buy separate, but we're also not gonna need it. So all that we don't need. Comes already in the kit, which is nice, with a new belt. next thing you're gonna want to do is take a 3000 grit, and you're gonna want to clean all of these surfaces right here so that all the old gasket material is off of it, and then you can reinstall the new pump. There's the entry to the oil cooler, which you're going to also want to clean and lubricate for the o-ring to go into. And then the belt, the way you take off the belt is, I'll just take a picture of the tool that I use. It's a 12 mil. All you do is loosen that bolt. You loosen that right there. It's going to be clockwise to loosen, and then as long as you have a little bit of movement in this gear, you can actually slide the belt off and slide the new one on. You don't have to remove it all the way. Real quick guys, just as a helpful tip, what I do is I remove this gasket, all of it, and I take little tiny dabs of flexible super glue, and then I press the gasket back in. And the reason for this is that I want to eliminate the risk of a gasket coming out, and when you're applying that water pump in, you're pressing it towards the engine block. I don't want it to like come off. I've had it happen before where it comes off a little bit and then there's a leak. These two seals right here, they go on this pipe, but you're not going to need them. And this seal, Rain and actually CRP Automotive, they provide this, they said, in air, so you won't need this seal at all. Here's the new bolt for the belt, which is nice, triple square, and then 12 mil I believe. And then they gave you all these new bolts as well that you're supposed to torque down to 9 Newton meters. To get the top bolts into this position from the water pump, take a long magnetic tool, and you're gonna go, as you can see, straight through into, hopefully, there you go, and then just turn it a couple times, and what that'll do is it'll actually stay in there when you pull the tool out, and then you could torque it to the 9 Newton meters. So you torque them down in that special sequence at 9 Newton meters. All right, so right now we're looking at the back of the engine. There's your coolant output flange. You're gonna disconnect that first pipe with a little clip, and then there's gonna be a little electrical connector on the side and 2 Torx T30s, as you can see. And then basically that whole thing will come out. It's a perfect opportunity to do it when you're in the water pump, because you're gonna have more access to get to this piece, and it just pulls straight out. I'll show you in a second. So the way it routes is it goes through here, and then that pipe goes above, back, and down that way. So what happens is they leak right here. As you can see, we had some coolant loss here, coolant issues, because coolant dries like that. And then what happens is it'll leak down the back of the engine. This looks actually original. And then this pipe, by the way, goes right here to the reservoir. It looks to be in good shape. You don't have to buy a new one. Just transfer it over, and you can reuse even the clamp too. But yeah, here's where that electrical connector slides in. You pinch it like this and it slides off. 2 Torx T30s, and over here it's that clamp that you pull the pin. I actually use one of these guys. I get in there like this, pull the pin out, and then pry the hose off. To get her off from the engine, what I do is you take a little screwdriver and you just go twist it slowly like this, a little bit here, a little bit there, and it'll come out. I was gonna replace this pipe here that goes into the front of the water pump, but unfortunately this Burgerflex one, I don't like how it's so much thinner and it weighs like nothing. This is like nice and heavy. So fortunately, I'm gonna send this back, stick with the OE, and just get a new O-ring. You're gonna want to clean the throttle body with throttle body cleaner, front and back. Make sure it's nice and clean, and make sure this mating surface, take a little 3000 grit sandpaper to it with some throttle body cleaner. And you're gonna want to see through the throttle body just like this. And you're gonna want to put a new throttle body seal on. This is an old one, which is already used. So the new one, install, and then the throttle body. So you can use AN13 instead of the G12, and this is full 100% concentrate coolant, because the customer was putting in straight water into this engine. So in the engine block, it's essentially all water. There's no coolant whatsoever. So you can just use this to fill up. Real quick guys, also according to instructions, what you do is you loosen that hose right there. You see that white part right there? So what they want you to do is loosen that, and then you pull it back while filling. See, there's the clamp right there, that metal clamp. You pull that back just enough so that that hole lines up with the hole in the actual pipe. And what that'll allow you to do is get the air out the system. So I actually did not do that yet. If you have issues with overheating or there's an airlock in the car, that's what I would recommend doing first. You don't have to hook up a scan tool or anything like that. You just, if you're having cold air when you have the heat on full, that's where I would start right there. Pull that guy back to get rid of any kind of air bubbles in the system. It's right by the positive terminal. You take this cover off, and then you just pull the hose back after that clamp is removed.